The ugly truth of pension plans, what the media, the financial media in particular, won't tell you. It's very interesting, actually. We're all going to be broke in retirement because we don't have pension plans. That's what everybody says. All fake, all the time. It's just all one thing for big government to accept on it. So we're going to look back. We're just going to do a brief thing because I've done other episodes on this. And I don't feel like diving into all the research I've done before. But we're going to do a couple things here just to show you how bad pension plans were and why we have 401k plans and why 401k plans are better. I just posted a survey, a poll on my YouTube channel, the community section. Would you rather have a pension or a 401k? It'll be interesting to see what people say, especially given that the markets are way down. But if you'd rather have a pension than a 401k, I don't know what to tell you, man. Anyway, right here. The history of the RISA. This is the Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974. Over the years, various legislation has been passed concerning the labor and tax aspects of employee pension plans. The culmination of this was ERISA. They were enacted to address public concern that funds of private pension plans were being mismanaged and abused. For instance, more than 4,000 workers lost some or all of their pension plans when Studebaker closed in 1963. The benefits were shuttered because the plan was underfunded. Shocking, huh? The Teamsters Central State Pension Fund brought the issue of fiduciary malfeasance related to retirement accounts to the public eyes in the 1960s and 70s. The fund had a history of questionable loans to Las Vegas mafiosos. Interesting, huh? So we know that that's just two. The history goes on. I don't feel like researching, but I've got other videos on this that show you the malfeasance of the pension plans. I think it was a significant amount of people were not going to have access to what they thought was their rightful money. Horrible. Anyway, that's what led to ERISA. With the addition of ERISA, led to companies saying, "I'm washing my hands because I can't." The number of regulations and fees to make sure these pensions are fully funded, I can't. And then they had more tax consequence beneficiaries of 401k plans, which is where we are today, which is much better. So let's check this. And here's from the Social Security Administration itself, the disappearing pension plan and its potential impact on retirement incomes of baby boomers. And I know the naysayers don't want to talk about this, but we're going to read directly from the naysayers. Let's see here. I'm going to go down here. Hold on a second, let me find it. For the last quarter of century, the occupational pension has shifted from defined benefit plans, pensions, to defined contribution plans, 401ks, 403bs, TSP. Analysis have attributed the trend of a number of factors. First, government regulations have tended to favor defined contribution plans. Oh, look here. Old Teresa Girarducci has admitted that. And she's admitted that because she wants pension plans, the government to give you money. And if you don't do this, they're not going to get the money. If you vote for Republicans, you're not going to get the money. See, that's what they want, control. They don't want you having your own money. They want to take it. So if you don't do what they say, you're not going to get the money. This began in the early 80s after IRS regulations implemented a provision in the 1978 Revenue Act, which allowed employees to make voluntary tax-deductible contributions to the retirement plans. Subsequent tax legislation enacted in the 1980s included TEFRA from 1982 and the Tax Reform Act in 1986, reduced incentives for employers to maintain their defined benefit plans. Of course, they were already being reduced significantly under ERISA. Since then, the adoption of defined benefit plans by new businesses has virtually halted. It's been replaced by the adoption of 401k plans. It's weird they don't talk about ERISA as part of the historical trends because that was a big deal. All right. Another study noted that from 1980 through 1996, government regulation increased the administrative costs of defined benefit plans by twice as much as those defined contributions. So for Teresa Girardelli and Alicia Munell over at Boston College, your big government plans is the reason we have less defined benefit plans, because the cost of the regulation of your big government has led to companies say, I can't afford this anymore. And rightly so, because a lot of these were underfunded. And look, I'm telling you right now, if you think a lot of these pensions right now from the government are fully funded, you're freaking nuts, dude. They're nuts. And you know this. These guys know this. They're going to get bailed out. No other way around that, because they don't have the money to pay for the benefits. They just don't. One of the reasons they needed higher interest rates. We'll do another video on that. Secondly, why we went away from defined benefits to defined contributions. The employment sector shift from manufacturing towards service and information decreased the availability of defined benefit plans because most people don't work in service and IT for 30 years digging ditches to get a pension. There's a lot of portability for employees going from part A to point B to employment B. Thus, freedom. Portability is freedom. This whole thing about Kennedy Castlebaum with Cobra. From 1995, they passed this. They said your health, you should not be, it's like the same thing with a pension. Your health insurance shouldn't be based on your employment. Thus, the portability of Cobra, 18 months, where you pay the whole thing. But they said, look, you should be able to retain your health insurance. It should not be subject to your employment. I completely agree with that, by the way. This Kennedy Castlebaum, look it up. Nancy Castlebaum was a Republican senator from Kansas, with Bob Dole as the other Republican senator from Kansas. But Kennedy Castlebaum, that was led to Cobra. And if all these healthcare mavens don't know Kennedy Castlebaum, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And with the point being, Cobra didn't wake up one day. Pre-Kennedy Castlebaum, there wasn't a Cobra. But the point being was, we don't want your health care subject to your employment. Why would we want your retirement income subject to your employment? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so we went from manufacturing to IT and service. As new firms and growing sectors of the economy adopted defined contribution plans, these structural changes in the economy are estimated to explain between 20 and 50% of the decline in defined benefits. Finally, some analysts suggest that worker demand has contributed to the popularity of defined contribution plans. They assert that employees prefer defined contribution plans because these plans are portable across jobs. Balances are more transparent and assets are managed by employees themselves. You think? I don't want some union freaking scrub to manage my money, and I want to do it myself, man. The Pension Protection Act of 2006 may fuel the trend away from defined benefit plans by increasing defined benefit plan reporting and disclosure rules, requiring stricter funding for your pensions and making permanent the increases in defined contribution in the 2001 tax cuts. That is the ugly history of the decline of pensions. Disagree with all you want. I don't care. You're wrong, dude. Defined contribution plans are better. But I'm down. Let's see some of the comments I have here real quick, because some people are really upset that they're. No, I'm not going to look at it. I'm down 20% in my portfolio. When I hear that, I just laugh, dude. I know that sounds bad. I just laugh. Where were you 5 years ago? Crazy, man. It's like when the housing crisis, I'm down with the housing costs. The price of my house is down 1.5%. It's a pure collapse. Let me show you something here. Look at that. That's for the state of Maine. Finnegan, annual home sales and median price 2009 to 22. The green is the median price. So you can see right there, it's about 160 in 2010. And that's off, because the markets fell. The real estate markets fell in 2007, 8, and 9. Now it's at, what does that say? I can't tell. It says 350. So it's gone from 160 to 350 in 13 years. A 2% decline is not a collapse, man. A 20% decline in your 401k is not a collapse from wherever you were in 2009, 2000, 2015. It's not a collapse. Look at reality, my friends. And by the way, if you have some crappy job, you can leave and take it with you, unlike a pension. How awesome is that? But people don't want to talk about that because I want to push fear that no one can retire. I had to chuckle this too real quick. I was reading this morning. Let's go down up here. We're going to go all the way up here. Household income 2021, the American Community Survey briefs. Interesting. So I typed in CPS. We're going to come down here, come down here, come down here, come down here, come down here. Hold on a second. And we're going to go to this chart, if I can find it. Maybe not. Hold on a second. 65 years or older, according to the American Community Survey, the current population study survey from the Census Bureau. We've actually lost money. People who are retirees, essentially, they've actually have less income now than they did in 2020 and 2019. All right, that may or may not be true, but we know the CPS is deficient, the current population survey, in terms of identifying where retirement income comes from. You know why? Because they don't include retirement IRA distributions, 401k distributions by about a factor of 30%. We know that. That's a fact. They're under-reporting IRA distributions by about a 30% factor. So when I see these kind of numbers, I'm like, okay. I mean, that went down $1,000. Wow. But we got to increase that by 30% because that's what they underreported. Now, the point being is there's a lot of scare. Look, you could be scared. I don't care. I literally, at this stage, I just don't care anymore. I remember when people comment, my friends, there's probably 20 eyeballs for every one comment, if that makes sense. All right. So when you see the comments and they're all negative or they're all pushing crap, remember there's 19 other people who see the comments but aren't commenting. And comments are, generally speaking, the greasy wheel. You know what I'm saying? So, oh my goodness, very few people write in when they're happy about things. Very few people do. Most people write in when they're upset, and the comments are the same way. The reason I point that out is because you're going to see some comments you're like, and throughout whatever, any kind of social media, but you'll see them be like, man, the people think this. No, they don't. It's just commentators. And so you just got to remember that. But it doesn't matter what people say. Only thing that matters is what you think about your own plan. That's all that matters. Stop letting the negativity get you down. It's stupid. All right. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.